Nathaniel Bandy. Striving for originality. Hello everybody! Please enjoy the following top 10 intro created by Cassie Vaya, or The Angel for the Frustration series. Enough talk though. Without further ado, let's go!
Number 10.
Whoa, please don't pause the video and complain, Nathaniel, this is not a cool stage! Just yet. Hear me out, alright? While I can agree that the track design is the most simple out of any Mario Kart stage in history, the title and theme of it is so beautifully ironic that it deserved a spot on this list. Babies can be very chaotic and make messes. Is that fair to assume? The roller coasters in the background symbolize fast and zany madness. Is that fair to assume? Well, this track blends all of those elements into one course. The track is so tiny that items like bananas and fake item boxes can easily flood the track. I should also mention that Bowser shells, fireballs, and chain chomps can be nearly impossible to dodge because they bounce around every square inch of the track. Dodging all of this at once is like trying to avoid touching raindrops in a thunderstorm. You're gonna get hit one way or another. This kind of madness doesn't happen in any other Mario Kart track. It makes this track very unique and cool. It's almost like playing the infamous balloon battle, but you're actually racing.
Number 9.
This probably appears as a bold move, putting a Rainbow Road so high on the list. The track is fun to play, no doubt about it. It just doesn't offer a whole lot when it comes to being fun and cool. The color choices are stunning in this track. The different shades of colors work really well with the glowing starry sky in the background. I love looking out into the background and seeing a shooting star. It's really cool that they added that. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm flying when I play this track. For this Mario Kart, they designed the karts to either be really light or made the gravity very high. It's so easy to catch air. Anyway, I say this because every time you go off a jump, it feels like you're gliding or flying through the air, and it's either pure joy or terror. And I say terror because if a red shell hits you in the air, you're probably going to die. Luckily though, when you die, you'll fall into a city! That's right, the perspective on this Rainbow Road is that the track is floating directly over a city. Hey, it looks very similar to Mushroom City. I'm puzzled and puzzled and puzzled, and now my puzzler is sore.
Number 8.
This iteration of Bowser's Castle stole a lot of ideas from the Nintendo 64 version and also created a few new ideas. The multiple thwomps, the stairs, the right-angled turns, and the spiral all make a nod to the 64's Bowser Castle. But the coolest feature for this track is at the end. After tumbling down the stairs, you see a huge statue of Bowser's head that moves side to side. Not only that, but this bad boy spits out huge fireballs. These fireballs aren't just for decoration either. You've got to avoid them too. Bowser's patterns are random, so you play the track differently every time. I love how the arrows that point you where to go all have eyes on them. I know this happens all the time in Mario games, but what was the point of this exactly? What started it all? Maybe it's Bowser spying on your driving? Wait a minute, that wouldn't make sense. He's one of the drivers. Okay. Maybe it's got something to do with the Illuminati. I sure hope not. I mean, we already have to deal with the NSA. Let's not have this problem with Mario Kart now.
Number 7.
Everybody loved Wario Stadium for the Nintendo 64, so why not make one based off of Waluigi? Speaking of Waluigi, when will Nintendo make a game for him? I want to see this so people will stop complaining that he has no personality. It's Nintendo's fault that he doesn't. Sorry for the spiel. Continuing on, we have a track that is clearly inspired by dirt bike racing. Imagine playing a game like Excite Bike 64. That's pretty much what this track is. Aside from the circle flames, the Mario characters, the blue shells, the speed boosts, and the giant piranha plant that comes out of the pipes that try to eat you. So, besides those minor things, this is very similar to a dirt bike track. The music for this track will drill a big bloody hole in your brain and stay there for forever. It's one of the catchiest Mario Kart songs of all time.
Number 6.
This is the same idea as Toad's Turnpike from the Nintendo 64, but has been made in a polar opposite fashion. Everything bursts with color, there's less traffic on the road, and there's a couple of cool little shortcuts to go across. The cars aren't nearly as bad as they were in Toad's Turnpike. When you hit a car this time around, you just spin around in a circle. The only exceptions are the bomb cars, the wiggler trains, and the mushroom car. Speaking of the mushroom car, when you run into it, a free mushroom will spit out. My favorite part of this track is at the end when you're going across the bridge. It looks self-explanatory as of what you're supposed to do, simply drive across the bridge to continue along the track. However, if you're very skilled, you can ride on top of the railing across the whole bridge. There are even speed boosts to allow you to get to the top. While it's intensely satisfying making it all the way across, it's very easy to fall off the railing because it's incredibly skinny. One slip either throws you back on the bridge or to the river below.
Number 5.
Most of the tracks in Mario Kart are named after Mario characters, but this one was named after a dinosaur. It doesn't even resemble Yoshi, which is surprising because, obviously, he is a dinosaur. This track throws you back into the past, and there are lots of cool things going on. The water spouts were a really clever touch, as were all the dinosaurs that got in your way. I think my favorite thing about this track is just the fact that it was created. It must have been created for a purpose that may be used one day. I've always envisioned an open-world 3D Mario game where he gets sent back to the past to collect power stars and fight off cool dinosaur bosses. I mean, think about that for a minute. Wouldn't that be the greatest idea ever? It would be a perfect excuse to use Yoshi, too. He would wrap himself into the story very easily. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. That was way off topic. I think I tend to do that a lot for these top 10s. I apologize, people.
Number 4.
Wario Colosseum is so large that it only requires 2 laps to complete. Jeez. I'm not exactly sure where the inspiration came from for this track, but it's a surprisingly unique design. This whole track is a big challenge, but it's incredibly fun to play. There are 2 enormous jumps. One of them is easy to make, but the other takes a little bit of aiming to get down. It's very satisfying going off these jumps, and this would make perfect sense to be a retro stage for Mario Kart 8, as these 2 jumps would be perfect for gliding. There's not much else to say, aside from that this track is flat out fun and cool to play.
Number 3.
I'm kind of surprised Nintendo hasn't done a track like this earlier, but I'm glad it's been done now. You literally drive around an outline of a huge Yoshi, and somehow it makes for an excellent track design. Who would have known? I love all the extra decorations they've added, including the gorgeous flowers, the neatly cut grass, and the Yoshi copper from Yoshi's Island. That was a neat thing to add. I wonder if any of the other transformations are hidden in this track. I've also noticed a ship in the background. Is it Daisy's Cruiser? Why are these tracks hypothetically so close to each other? Rainbow Road / Mushroom City, and now we've got Yoshi Circuit / Daisy Cruiser? And of course, we can't forget that shortcut at Yoshi's Arms. The shortcut can be accomplished with some form of a mushroom, whether it is triple or golden. As long as you can boost yourself over all the grass, you'll likely make it. Still, this shortcut is a little tricky to pull off without a little practice, but it was strangely much easier in the DS Retro version.
Number 2.
Speaking of Daisy's Cruiser, her track cracks number 2 on this countdown. We are driving inside a fancy ship. Need I say more? It's got everything you would expect: a beautiful sunny sky, a mini pool, and a large dining facility. The dining facility is always active because apparently, when you enter this area, the ship is going through the eye of the storm due to the tables sliding back and forth across the floor. But you get out of the storm when you leave the dining area. Of course. There's an alternate route shortly after this you can take, and it launches you high into the air and back onto the main ship. It's almost like sneaking into the storage room of the ship, stealing millions of dollars, and launching yourself up to the surface so you can escape in time. Phew, my brain is really fried now. Let's get to number 1 before my head explodes.
And now, the number 1 coolest Mario Kart Double Dash track is...
Oh yeah, DK freaking Mountain. We all know what this course is about. We are blasted out of a DK barrel to the top of a huge mountain, then we drive all the way down to the bottom, and repeat. Driving down the mountain is so cool and fun, especially the area where you hover in the air half of the time. The boulders roll in just the right spots to make them easy to dodge, but yet hard at the same time. The turns are incredibly sharp, but oh so fun to drift through. On top of all this, this track is a pretty sight. The environment is very lush, with gorgeous trees and grassy areas. Every time I'm playing this game with a group of friends, everybody gets the most excited when this track comes up. There's this strange charm DK Mountain has, and we all love it. That's it for today. Did you guys think my list was good or bad? Let me know in the comments. Also, what is your coolest track in Mario Kart Double Dash? Next month, I'll be covering something Mario Kart related, but it may or may not be about a specific title. Until then though, have a great day and thank you so much for watching.